I feel like nothing's happened in the last like 3 or 4 days. Am I tripping?
Bro, nothing's happened in the last week.
Yeah, exactly. Well, some things happened like 1 week ago, but what's good, stream? Welcome to the show. We're back again. We're just on the 2-man today because we don't have the full casting talent, but it is what it is. But yeah, we've got plenty to discuss, as per usual here in the COD scene, baby. It's all going on. Welcome those on Twitch, on YouTube, all this type of good stuff. How's it going, Crane? Good morning.
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Just trying to check some stuff on Google.
Are you looking up COD Gamepedia?
Nah, I was looking at the prize pool because I think I posted that they won 300k, but I think 300k was like this.
Well, what is this? I mean, I respect that. I'm taking over raid in this graphic right here. So I mean, I gotta take that. That'll do. Good stuff. Raider Nation, baby. I did it. Oh yeah. I mean, that's just what is even going on here? I'm a bit confused. I guess it's a bunny rabbit in it. Ah, I see. I see what's going on. I see what's going on. The bunny is, yeah, okay. I mean, it's on raid. It's pretty nice. Like, and that's the Black Ops 2 raid as well. You can just tell from the quality of the graphics, you know? You just know that's what it's about, which you just love to see, really. So, yeah, agreed. I mean, yeah, what's going on in the World Series of Warzone? I know some people would have been watching it. I didn't really tune into it much. I'm definitely going to try and watch tomorrow's, even though maybe tomorrow's going to be later on in the day, so I might have to watch it back the next morning or something. I really just can't bring myself to watch Warzone. Do you know what I mean?
No, neither. I'll watch tomorrow, but
yeah, it depends what time it is tomorrow because I didn't even watch the Scump thing live, but I'm pretty sure it was like it happened in the night or whatever. That guy, the COD Cloud guy, he put up a video. It was called "The World Reacts to Scump Wins World Series of Warzone," and it was just like reactions from all the streamers watch partying it. And that video has like 1 million views. And then he did a part 2 that has like 300k views. So that was pretty immense. So I don't know, like
people love their React stuff. Like I don't really use YouTube, but people love that shit.
Yeah, actually, let me just let Slim know about that. Just had an idea. World reacts to X wins World Series of Warzone. Right last year on YouTube. Maybe same again tomorrow.
Bro, I was saying to someone that me and you should react to like some old tournaments because I didn't watch the early tournaments. Like before, I would say before even BO3, I don't watch too much of that. Like we could react to some shit like that.
I would be down. I'd be actually super down for that, just because like I also haven't watched that many. I mean, even the ones that I did watch at the time, like there'd be a great time. But like the whole of Advanced Warfare, I don't think I watched it at all. I only kept up with it on Charlie Intel. I used to go on Charlie Intel to get the news for the patch notes, and I'd see an article like Optic win another tourney, and I'm like, esports, who cares about that? Like,
yeah. I watched nothing in it. I've seen like obviously clips that everyone's seen, but I never watched the tournament.
I think I watched I'd have been pretty young, but like maybe not. Like, I don't know. I watched some of the Ghost tourneys. I'm pretty sure I remember watching like the X Games. I think I watched that live. And then Black Ops 2, I'm pretty sure. I thought that I watched Champs live, but I'm now thinking I probably didn't because I'm now thinking it must have been about 4 a.m. my time. So I'm probably thinking I didn't watch Champs live.
What's the replay?
I would watch it the next day or something. I don't know. I watched something about Black Ops 2 Champs at that time, but then it was really Black Ops 3. I didn't watch the first Black Ops 3 event. Like there was the Totino's event, and there was like UMG South Carolina or something, whatever it was. I don't think I watched those. But then it was when the Pro League started that I actually watched it. So good times, you know. When the game was good, you didn't know what you're missing at that point. Even though like you did have to watch these Morns do ban and protect for about 10 minutes before each map. So like, you know, I'm not a big fan of that. It took too long. It took too long.
Well, they could have had the season without it. Just ban things.
Yeah, well, that's exactly like if you're playing GBs, you don't play bloody ban and protect. You play specialist draft maybe, but like you just play no ban and protect with regular rules. Like they didn't have to do that. It just came.
I mean, we had to do that.
Would ban bloody afterburner.
We had to do that type of stuff to get where we're at now. Trial and error, you know.
Yeah, agreed.
Just had to trial it for the entire season.
Yeah, that would be good fun though. I'd be down. I mean, we've been kidding. Like we have all the footage of those old tourneys as well now because we've got like all the videos. Like of the
maybe we could just watch our ones, the breaking point ones, just like the good moments.
Yeah, like the winning events and stuff. That's a good idea. 99% power today. We're trying our best here, bro. We're trying our best. But welcome back to the stream. Okay, should we crack on?
Yes, sir.
Let's go. What episode? Well, let me just check the thing. Episode number 81. Let's go, baby.
81. 100 coming up soon.
It's not bad, to be fair. 80 is not bad for a podcast. It's got to be said.
Hey, have you guys missed a week ever?
We did miss 1 or 2 weeks. Like I remember last year when I went. Yeah, okay. And we also missed a week when I was on holiday last year. And I couldn't do one of the weeks because the internet was terrible, and it probably will be the same again this year because I'm going away in like 2 weeks' time. So we'll see about that. But you know, hopefully Crone can come back. If not, then we'll see. But it's all good.
I might have to be the host, you know.
Yeah, that's
my best
big actually. That'd be big. Yeah, we get a special guest on. We'll dive into you're on holiday. Well, okay, we don't do holidays. Like we still do the work, but we do it not at home, you know? So like
that's what I do too.
Yeah, we go on holiday to a location that isn't home, but yeah, we still do the videos. But it's okay. Because like I just do them in the morning and then go out for the day or whatever, come back, go to bed, repeat, you know the vibe. All right, cool. 81. I'll do the 3, 2, 1. You're good to go, Emma. 3, 2, 1. All right, guys, tacticalrab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Welcome back to the Breaking Point podcast. It's episode number 81. We're at slightly reduced capacity today, but that's okay. It's myself, it's Crone. We're here, the Intel boys, bringing you all the juicy drama from the last week or so. Quite a lot still happening. There's been, obviously, it's calmed down a fair bit since the absolute chaos of a couple of weeks ago, but still, there's been rather a lot going on. There's been some drama. There's been aBezy versus Arcitys. There's been, is Scump going to take the L and retire after this season? Octane, of course, has also had some words about the New York Subliners camp and what they should or should not have done based on the roster that they're building. But yeah, Crone, what's good? Welcome to the show. I know you said that we don't really know what the future is, whether you're able to be on these shows in the future. So, you know, all I'm saying is enjoy it while it lasts, chat.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't know. Like, I wish I knew chat, but I'm lost at the moment. I'm going into to fill you in, I'm going to my old job tomorrow or Friday to see if I can get that back because nothing's really come up yet, and I need some money, obviously. So if I do get that job next week, then I probably won't be here next week. But if I don't, then I'll be back next week. Who knows? But it's good to be here. Dynamic duo, me and Rab. See what we can do.
Know how it is. Let's go, baby. Yeah, let's crack straight on. Thanks to all those joining us in the chat live after the fact on all the. There's more of you guys like week on week on the audio platforms like Spotify, Apple. So if you're listening on those, really appreciate you. If you haven't dropped the big 5 stars yet, at least consider it. Let's crack on. We've of course seen tonight this whole Warzone thing going on, the World Series of Warzone. I know that last week, Crone, that we had the whole Cellium versus Biffle thing, and Cellium saved the CDL by taking down Biffle and aided in the vanguard. Of course, he did then go on to get smoked on speedball or whatever it's called. But like, when I was watching gameplay of that, I'm like, it reminded me a little bit of when you play I don't know if you have ever seen people do this, but the Nuketown 2025 Black Ops 2 sniper 1v1s, and
they're just wallbanging and like.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you
no
have
spawns.
FMJ
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
Yeah, you get one
yeah,
kill and then you just know where they spawn. You look here, shoot when they spawn, and like you can get about 10 kills in a row just off the
yeah,
knowing like all the different spawn spots. It was a little bit like that. So I feel like
yeah.
Cellium gets a bit of a pass from me, but at the end of the day, Cellium should win in Vanguard. Like he was the best. So he better
100%.
win.
Biffle was good though. Like I said last week, Biffle was really good, bro. He's really good. I like it. I like him a lot. He can shoot straight. I think he's a smart player. I don't think he should be on Paris Legion though, like some people are saying. Jesus Christ. Wins a couple of 1v1s. You guys think he should be in a franchise?
Get him straight in, get in the franchise deal, no doubt. I mean, yeah, it's a good point, but like, what do you think would happen if I don't know, like the thing I wish some of these guys would try and give it a go, but it just doesn't make any sense for them because they make well more money doing Warzone. This is the
Yeah.
problem. Like, this is what people were saying about the people were talking about Scump and all that and like the 1v1 thing. But if Scump was coming up today as like a young kid, like he'd probably be a Warzone player. Like he wouldn't be a
100% if he
CDL
wasn't
pro.
there.
So
Because there's
like
no money in competitive Call of Duty until you, even in your first year, you're probably on a rookie contract. You're probably on like minimum wage. So there's way more money in Warzone. I think Biffle's made like 200 to 300k on Warzone in the last 2 years. Like you're not making that as an up and coming
straight
challenger
prize
player.
money, you know? That's not
Yeah,
even
exactly.
subs
And
now.
play, yeah, exactly. And he's Twitch stream. I don't know how many subs he has. I assume he has probably over 5k easy. But he's making bank. Like you're not making that money in challenges, and there's probably some pros that aren't making that money. It's
For
probably heaps
sure.
actually.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's kind of like it's kind of the state of the league in a sense that a lot of the talented guys are going to the Warzone route where it would be nice to see these guys actually, you know, their ambition. It would be nice if their ambition was to be a CDL pro, but
Yeah,
it's understandable
I
that it's not, you
Yeah,
know.
exactly. But I think so Warzone 2, I don't know when it comes out, but I think it comes out like 2 or 3 months after Modern Warfare, right? So I think at the start, I'm hoping that we see a lot of those Warzone players play the kickoff tournaments and maybe play a couple too. Like I have no idea. I don't know if they'll do that, but if there's no Warzone to play, and especially if Warzone at the moment is just so stale, there, I think they'll probably play like these kickoff tournaments and those types of things. Hopefully.
It's been good for like the scenes though in a way because I remember like back in Black Ops 2 when the competitive side was really taking off there was such a big obviously everyone remembers the whole Jay Nasty thing where they got smoked by the Rambo and that but like that time, I remember guys like T Martin and all the big kind of casual YouTubers were getting really into like there was such an overlap at that time between guys like Scump and Nade and then other YouTubers who weren't competitive based. Like it was a real coalition of the scenes and T Martin would go to the World Championship and these other guys like that like I don't know if Ali did much, but you know, these type
Yeah.
of big names back in the day, like they would make videos like either about the comp scene or they'd go to the events and tweet to the pros and be really involved. I think that actually helped quite a lot in the early days. Um,
It's funny you say T
yeah,
Martin. I bought him for a sec because he's the reason I found competitive Call of Duty. Like he
really.
used to upload. You guys probably watched them too. The
2v2s?
2v2 GBs, yeah. And I started watching those, and then I've said this before, and I found that. Then I found Nade was doing it with Imbos, I think. Then I found Scump, and so because T Martin was doing that competitive stuff, that's what got me into competitive. So
That's
shout out to T
actually
Martin.
it's an interesting point because like I'm thinking it was actually maybe kind of similar for me because I used to watch like all the team. I mean, okay, the guy's a bit suspect, you know, whatever. We don't need to get into that, but like
Yeah,
all the, you know, like the videos that I used to watch a lot of them back in, especially like Advanced Warfare. Like that year, I watched like a lot of his stuff, and then I think that season he then started the second channel where he did the 2v2s with YouTube Brock. And I think he did them in Advanced Warfare as well, and then carried them into Black Ops 3. And I definitely watched a lot of those videos, and because I was also starting to play like game battles and stuff at the time. And
yeah,
then like next year he continued them, but then of course like Nade came along and did the Road to 100 so that was like that was just
yeah,
gold
yeah.
dust.
Yeah, I think that's when I moved on to like actual computer players. Me and my
Yeah.
missus used to watch it every day, and she would get salty at me if I would watch it before her, like before she finished work. So it was like our little date night. We watched like 2v2s.
Oh
Nerdy as
man,
fuck, but that's
nah, but it
cute,
was so good, man. Like I'm just
Yeah,
remember because
real
like
good.
I used to all do like we used to always do that because it would be you'd get like the A, B, and then maybe the C if it went map 3. And like
Yeah,
that was bro, when it went game 3, it's like, oh no, come on, boys. And then Bose would
yeah.
sometimes just be throwing hard, like.
And
But
Boza Merc was good too.
yeah. When Merc
That
came
was a
in,
good one
that
too.
was just yeah, that was great. I actually went back and watched them like maybe 6 months ago or something. Like I
Yeah.
clicked on one of them I recommended and just went back and watched like pretty much everything from start to finish.
Yeah, I remember YouTube broke. That's when I found out about Zeptius too, and BO3. He used to play with YouTube broke. Like,
yeah,
a
man.
long time
I think
ago.
Brook still
And
streams or something, but man, what a crazy
yeah,
time. Yeah, okay. Warzone 2 releases November 16th. Interesting. Good stuff, Modern Warzone. Appreciate you coming in. Okay, so yeah, not too long much later. So hopefully that's good. Like, I want to see more of this crossover type stuff. It gets eyes on both sides. Like, it's good to see when the CDL pros interact with the World Series of Warzone stuff, and then it's also good, hopefully, to see the other way around. And that's why hopefully the CDL kicking off a bit earlier this year will spark a bit of life into it more than usually happens at the start of the season. Let's talk some of the rosters that might be arriving there. Like, we already kind of know what the New York roster is going to be and the Florida one as well, but like we've hit further sources have said over the coming days that it's pretty much locked in. So it's probably guaranteed at this point. I know that there's been a few interesting words on the subliners roster. So Skies, Kiz, Hydra, and Priester, we guess is going to be the case. Interesting team just because I'm not exactly sure where the leadership comes from necessarily. I'm a little bit confused, not confused per se about the Priester move, but I feel like there was other options that were worth considering. Crim, obviously, he was on this team. He's not going to think they got better. Crim has been implying that they're not going to win without him, which, you know, is probably fair enough. And I can kind of see that being true, to be honest. Like, it's difficult to say because there's a lot of good teams at the top of this league. You've got the 3 teams that stuck. Then you've got FaZe. Then you've got Minnesota who upgraded. Toronto, I think, have actually a really high ceiling as well. Like,
yeah,
and then you find yourself where you've got to think about where New York and Boston and these type of teams find themselves. And it's difficult exactly to say. So Crim reckons they got worse. Octane on a Toronto podcast not that long ago was kind of asked about Hydra and the SMG duo that they had over there and whether it's a good one. And he said, yeah, like Hydra's good, but he's not 500k a year good. And we don't exactly know what the contract he's got is now, and they might have toned down the numbers from what was initially being proposed. But you know, still, the implication was Hydra's getting somewhat overpaid for a team that is rather underwhelming. Do you agree with that assessment? Because I look at it and I actually kind of like it, but then I look at the other teams and I'm like, well, it's top 8, top 6 maybe.
I don't know. I do think they got worse. I agree that they got worse. I'm not big on Priester, and I said that before. The other 3 are good though, but like everyone's saying, like I saw on Reddit yesterday, there was a massive thread about who's going to be the leader on the team, and I agree. I think it would probably have to be. I want to say Skies, but I don't know. It'll be Skies or Priester. I feel like it should be. Kismet could take that role, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of your in-game leader being like the SMG player doing like, you know, all types of, you know, they have to be on the move all the time. They're not posted up watching the entire field. But I would probably agree that the roster definitely downgraded. But I actually think there's a chance that they could land higher in the overall standings. Like, well, New York was 8th, so I don't think that's hard to beat. But in saying that, I don't know if they'll win an actual tournament because New York won 2. I don't think New York won 2. Actually, I don't think
won 1 technically.
Yeah, they won the one. Yeah, they
it
won
felt
one.
Like a win at Major 4. It felt like a win.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry, my bad. They won one. The second one I was thinking of was qualifying for champs. That feels like a win, like you said.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think they're gonna win next year at all. If they do, then I'm sorry, but I don't. I think everyone can agree with that. The team just, I don't know. I kind of wish that they got Gunless instead. Yeah, I think I would have rather them get Gunless, but I could see why they didn't look at Gunless. Which I think we're going to talk about next or later too.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I know they want to go down the whole no drama route, which I kind of get, right? They don't want any players that are going to cause friction or drama or anything. Like, they want just a nice, clean team environment, which makes sense. But yeah, I don't know. They don't quite have the upside, but that's also the thing with the whole Hydra thing. Like, if they are paying him a serious amount of cash to be their star player that's going to win them tournaments in the coming years, like, it's not they haven't exactly gone out and really leveled up massively. So it's like for New York, like what really is the intention here? Because Hydra's not going to be a massive. I guess they want him to be a big like content guy for the brand, but he's not going to be a crimsix that's bringing all the eyeballs. Like maybe he can be, but English isn't his first language. Like he's not exactly going to be a natural on camera in like in English and stuff like this. So you don't exactly get that. You kind of lose the big personalities you had last season, and you're probably not going to win either. So now I'm kind of like wondering, like how long is the leash on this team before they think, yeah, let's just chalk it up and try and upgrade. Maybe they do well, but like I don't really know what the plan is here because the plan surely has got to be to win. But then I'm thinking, are we winning with this? So yeah,
Yeah, I mean it's hard because like who else aside from Gunless and Priester, like who else is there? Really,
yeah,
there's
there
not.
isn't many options. Like the big names got picked up. I just like, what the hell would they have done if Hydra was like stolen? You know what I mean? Like if
Yeah,
Optic
like
got
who would they
Hydra,
have?
what is
Dandy?
their team?
Like I don't know who they would have
Oh,
went for.
man, I would cringe if that was the team. But yeah,
I have no
Fire
idea.
40 comes back, maybe.
I
Yeah,
think there
where's
should
the
be a
potential
coaching
issue?
should be a coaching change on their team soon too.
You reckon Drill's leaving?
I don't know if he's leaving. He could stay, but I think they're going after someone else who a lot of the community know. I'll say that much.
Interesting. Oh wow, okay, let's go, baby. That's what I want to
You,
hear.
you could probably guess it from that.
From the demeanor, yeah. I mean, the other side is the Florida question, because that's kind of the other team that we're not like fully sure of, but we're pretty sure. It does seem
I'm
like
pretty
they're
sure
going
that's
down
it,
this
bro.
Major
Yeah.
Maniac, Brack, Havoc, Vickle route. I mean, what do we, because
I
I saw
like it,
you
bro. I
tweeting
like
at
it.
Jacob Hale about this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the more I think about it, the more I like the route that Florida are going down here, just because they've got a mix of players that are kind of proven to an extent and others that are trying to prove their worth back again. I always said Brack again, which wouldn't have been bad because here he is. Like, this guy was a great player, like a top player on Midnight at the start of Black Ops 4. At the end of the game, he was on LG. It's taken a while for him to get back in the league. Like, as we even said last week, I think it's kind of crazy how he was in the league years ago and he's struggled to get back in and finally made his way back if this indeed happens. The Vickle thing as well, it's like Florida have been a bit hit and miss in terms of their talent scouting, but on occasion they've done a good job. And I feel like some of the players they've gone for here, like Bracken, Vickle, I think they're solid players to take a punt on that you can get relatively cheaply. And like, as much as I'd love to see Crim here, the Major Maniac thing is probably sensible because you want this team to actually be good at search. Like the way this team is going to get upsets and make runs is by winning game 5. So that's just how it is for teams without the real superstars. And Major Maniac can definitely bring that. So I don't know. I think this team's got more upside than it has on like looking at the names you think are not making champs. But I think like they've got a decent chance of doing something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is a hot take, but I think they might do better than New York next season. Like I could be dick riding a little bit because I'm a big fan of Equal and
I
Havoc.
mean, you might be right though.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are questioning whether Brack is like to stall a little bit on the slow side, on the baity side. But I mean, if he's slaying, like, I don't think people care if you're really baiting, you know? Like, people don't care that Dashy and Cellium do it. But you have to be like a mega slayer. Major Maniac is obviously a really good player too. I've never been huge on him, but I think that's just the style of play I prefer watching is like the fast pace,
Mm-hmm.
you know, doing crazy shit and getting 3 pieces, not sitting back and doing smart plays. But yeah, like I said, I honestly think that this team could do better than New York. I think it could. Um, people don't really know about Vickle, but he's a really good player. And Florida wanted to pick him up last year, but they couldn't because he was on a student visa. I don't really know how that works. I don't know how visas work, but I like this team. I do. I wouldn't mind them maybe looking at another coach. Because I don't know some of their
Yes, they got
players
Willet
sometimes
now,
are like
right? And then we've got like
yeah. Not saying he's bad or anything, but I don't know. Maybe
yeah.
another voice. Maybe like Heggy, like somebody give him like just as an assistant or even an analyst. Like I just feel like he is such a huge brain for Call of Duty that it's just being wasted. But I would like to see him prove himself in challenges as a coach first too.
Yeah, that's an interesting point as well. We'll see about that. I'm inclined to agree on the Florida front that they might need a little bit extra because the last couple of years, it's like, it feels to me because Skies is now left and Awakening is now left. We saw the announcements come through over the last couple of days that they've been officially released. And it just feels like there's been such an element of wasted potential there, really, because we saw what they could do in Modern Warfare. In the last couple of years, they've just achieved nothing. And it's like, it's just been kind of a sad couple of years given the talents those guys have that Mutineers were never able to extract their potential, really, since Frosty and Pharaoh were able to do so. And they just missed those type of players the last couple of years. So maybe that needs another IGL, or as they've done, like those contracts have now expired. But I'm excited to see what Awakening especially can do on a new lineup. I think Skies as well can be a good player, but isn't going to be as impactful as Awakening can be on his day.
Yeah,
so
I agree. I do like this roster more than the first one that I said. I don't even know if that first one was legit, I'll be honest with you.
Gizmo Nasty and all that.
Yeah, like Nasty and Gizmo. And I was like, someone told me, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, all right, I'll just chuck it in there, whatever. But I was like, nah, this one's weird. But the new one, I like this one a lot. I do. And I hope Brack really proves himself again, because he's been out the league for what, like 3 years?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he was on the Toronto bench, was he? Am I tripping?
Yeah, he didn't. I don't think he played.
I don't think he ever played.
Yeah, I don't think Lyman ever said he played. He did scrim for the A team, I believe, but
yeah,
he never started.
Yeah, so there we go. Like 3 years out and he's back. So that's a pretty cool story. The Gunless question, though, right? I mean, he's effectively confirmed that he has no offers as it stands, which to me is quite remarkable, really, because Gunless, and I don't exactly know the reason why teams are passing on Gunless, because of course we saw that last season he had the illness, which was very unfortunately timed actually, because they were looking pretty good going into that tourney. Like they'd done well online in Major 2 qualifiers, looked better and better. And then they go to the event without Gunless because he's unwell, get Spartan and win it. And then obviously the expectation then for the team after they come back from that tourney is to, be top 3 at least, top 4 at least, or whatever. They're not that. They bring Gunless back. They're still not that. They then make another change. And obviously the organization has said, like, Bells and Ricky, you guys are plonkers, like, basically just moving you on. So Gunless ends up out of a spot, really, which is really crazy because, like, for someone who's been around since, I mean, we've watched the scene from Infinite Warfare when this guy first arrived on the scene, and people thought this guy was cheating. Like, week in, week out, the United guys, as it was Gunless, like, people had never heard of Gunless, right? Completely new name. I remember, like, it was so remarkable to witness at the start of Infinite Warfare when Optic were like the dynasty team. Obviously they hadn't cemented the legacy at that point, but like they were the team that's meant to be dominant. And then you've got this team of Gunless, Silly, Arcitys and Pristini. People are like, who the hell even are these guys? And they're coming through and they're smoking Optic in these online 2Ks. And then everyone's like, yeah, they're onliners, or Gunless is keyboarding, or something's dodgy because this guy's dropping a 1.2 every series. And then he turns up to LAN and does the same bloody thing and drops like 17 or 18 kills game 5. Like, this guy was an absolute monster.
Nasty, bro. For like three games in a row, he was like a top 5 player at one point or another in the season.
Yeah, he was arguably the best. I would say he was arguably the best player in the game at least one single point for 3 years in a row. Even Black Ops 4, I would say.
Black Ops 4, I can't remember.
Maybe
but I know
not, like, but around Fort Worth, he legitimately had a 1.35 KD at Fort Worth when LG won. Like,
it was nasty, bro.
Gunless in like March or February is actually disgusting. And even in Modern Warfare on Huntsman, like he was damn good for that team, but chemistry, right?
Yeah.
Didn't get
I think
on with
Cold War I could be wrong here, but I think Cold War was the only season he wasn't benched that he's played. Is that right?
I mean, yeah, I think you're right.
I know. Sorry, was he benched in IW or just straight traded?
IW, they made the trade. But like he effectively
same thing.
Got fed up with the team, and
yeah. And then World War II, he got traded, or did he get benched? My memory's so bad, bro.
Actually, I guess World War II he stayed on that Rise team. No, well, right, but at the start of the season, was he on Echo Fox or something?
I'm sure he got traded.
I think there was a trade. I don't think he got benched, maybe, but like there was a trade there. Like he wasn't on the same.
It's still crazy though. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing.
Cold War was the only time that happened. Yeah, you're right about it. I mean, that was like. I made a documentary with the Deserto guys. Like it's on YouTube, Deserto, Gunless. I forget what I called it. Like Call of Duty's like biggest enigma or something. Because it was a really like Gunless, a really interesting player. Start of the year, he's dominant, turns up, and then the team falls off a bit and the team collapses. Like we saw it several seasons in a row. And, you know, is that catching up to an extent? Or because if he was still the player that he was, I think he'd probably get a spot regardless. And people have said that, like, Gunless has kind of turned a corner. He's not that real toxic player anymore that's going to collapse the team if it's not going his way. But maybe they don't see that, or I don't know. It just feels to me like if he has to go down to challenges or get a sub spot and try and prove himself again, I'm sure that if he does get a sub spot somewhere, surely he would. Like, he'll get back into the league at some point. But
I mean, teams would be stupid not to pick him up as a sub, bro. Like, that's a great flex player right there.
Yeah, he's actually the perfect player to have in that type of situation. Now, I know, like, okay, people might be too concerned about the chemistry and, like, maybe his illness and stuff, whether it's going to recur. But I feel like he's been okay. You know, since he had the surgery, it's been like, it's all been fine. So, obviously, maybe he's not going to say, oh, it's not 100%, because then Orgs aren't going to pick him up. But I think it is, and what is being implied. So I'm just surprised that a couple of these teams really haven't, you know, hit Gunless up for this. And it just feels like there's the potential for, like, I mean, already there's been a massive sense of wasted potential from Gunless to some degree. And it feels like he might go down as one of those players, you know, because he's still one of the best players ever, if not the best, never to have won champs after Octane and Kenny did it now. But you now look at where he is, and I still think he's got gas in the tank, but it's like, it's just wasted potential, you know. It's kind of sad.
I think he'd be fine. Like, I don't think teams are looking too hard into subs at the moment. Like, I think a lot will probably wait for the game to come out, maybe watch some kickoffs and maybe some challenger cups, and then pick up some. Maybe they wait until after the pro-am and they pick up some. Oh, assuming the pro-ams first, maybe they wait till
well, do they have to pick someone up before then, though? Because if it's major,
well, they can just have the coach. Is what they usually do.
Yeah, you're right. You are right.
The coach is just listed as the Dashy. Yeah. Come on now. Got to save money in these times.
Yeah, true. It's fair play. Yeah, I guess we'll see about Gunn. I mean, he also wants, like, he needs a sub spot to keep his visa. I don't know when his visa expires or whatever, but like we saw that with Havoc, right, on Florida last season. They said, we want Vivid now or something. We're going to bench you and have you as a sub. And he was like, I'm out of here. I don't even want to be your sub. Like, I want to move back to Texas and play challenges in the best internet situation. And it paid off for him, right, Havoc? Because he got the Texas Nation team, got his offer on New York, declined it, got his offer on Rocker, accepted it. Now he's going to get back on Florida as a starting player. So it worked out for Havoc, but like, Gunless might have to suffer through the Jimbo effect of playing online matches from Canada, which is not optimal.
It's not. I wonder how many challenges players play from Canada. I can't even think of any.
I mean, you've got the likes of Diamond Con. Do they live in Canada? I guess they do.
They do. I'm pretty sure they do.
It's not ideal.
Not ideal for Gunless at all. I think he'll be fun though. Like, he's still a good player.
Yeah, he's still really, really good. He's got a few more years left for sure. Yeah, I think he's really fallen off.
I think he rubs some people the wrong way because of when you listen to listen-ins, he's real monotone. Like, he doesn't really show emotion. There's no like happiness in his voice. It's just like, yeah, there's one top mid, one A, one B, one.
It's always been like that though.
It's like, come on, man, like, be happy.
Yeah, it's like, let's go. I do know what you're saying there, actually.
But I think they might rub people the wrong way. I guess I don't know. They might think he's
like when you hear about, like,
he is.
Chicago
it's not. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they always talk so highly, that whole Chicago camp at Arcitys, right? Oh, we loved Alec on the team, Formal, Scump, Envoy. They all say this. Like, they don't really have any kind words to say about Gunless, which, I suppose it is what it is. But I'm still surprised the teams aren't giving him a go. The other player is Clayster, because I can't see Crim getting a spot at this point, at least a spot that he wants to accept. Whereas Clay seems kind of more willing to accept. If a CDL team's going to give him an offer, he'll give it a go. That's what he wanted to do this season anyway. It seems like he dealt with some like personal and family stuff over the last couple of weeks, which has been really challenging. But one of the things he said, which I thought was interesting. I think just after we did last week's episode, was he did a tweet kind of saying like, "I'm back now, but maybe my chance at a spot has gone because one team told me I was going to be there, and then they basically just strung me along and then chose a different option, and then I'd kind of committed to them, and now the other offer's now gone." So, like, I can't really see that can't be Boston. Maybe it's another team, but the kind of
It's gonna be Boston.
the dots align as Boston because like they probably wanted him, and then they've waited a few days. They probably told him that he was the favorite, and then they chose methods in the end. And then Clay was like committed to Boston, and they thought they were going to get him, and then now he's got to be like, "Don, please save me on Vegas."
I'm sure he's got plenty of time to get on Paris, bro. Like,
well, that's what I'm saying.
We know what they're like. Like they won't announce anything for another 2 months.
Yeah, because like I don't know who's gonna say no to that. Like Vegas aren't gonna say no to that. Like Clay obviously wants the spot. Like Vegas are gonna get Clay if they can get him. I feel like Temp is gonna be happy.
What other ARs are out there? Gunless has pretty much said he's not on the team.
Yeah, you've got like in terms of main ARs, you've got like Assault,
Gravity.
You've got General. There's no way Gravity and Temp want to run it back. That's not happening.
So it's like Clay is like the perfect fit for this team for what's left. Like I would have said Major Mania, but now that he's on Florida, that's it. But I feel like there's no better fit for this other than Clay. I'm not saying that these players aren't better than Clay, but I think in terms of like the amount of leadership that you get with Clay, he's just a better fit for this team. And that Temp has said like he wants leadership. He doesn't want challenger players. He wants like veteran players that know what they're doing. So I don't know. I just feel like Clayster and TJ is like what's going to happen. I don't know about the fourth.
Yeah, agreed. I think that's. I mean, it's gonna be. They're gonna leave it as last minute as they possibly can. Like they would be quite happy just to wait until the game literally launches and just try and find a challenger's kid who's cracked. But I know Clay doesn't really want to do that. Maybe Temp doesn't want to do that. But it's like, what are your options then? Because unless you're going to get a guy like Venom or Cap, for example, Cap actually would be interesting. I'd be actually down for that.
Yeah, like Cap, TJ, and Clayster and Tim. That's not bad.
Kind of like at least there's one player that Clay can like
top
mold,
11.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
maybe top 11. That wouldn't be bad. That'd be pretty good.
More than 2 wins.
Yeah, it's got to have more than 2 wins in it. That's for sure.
Someone replied to me yesterday, and it was like the funniest shit. They said, "Same region, new legion." if they keep losing, I'm like, bro, I'm using that shit next year for sure.
Oh yeah,
same region, new legion. Oh no, new region, same legion.
Yeah. That is good though. I like that. Oh, I didn't do the 2 hydrations. Sorry, chat. I've been watching the restream, not the Twitch chat, so apologies. But I'll do the other one in a second. I agree. I think the Clay, Don, Tej +1. I like the Capstore thing because he's the type of player that last year that Boston got out of nowhere. That now Vegas are going to be like, well, they did our scouting for us type thing. So they don't want to put any effort in.
And I saw 3 of them were actually playing a chow yesterday. I can't remember who posted it.
This is good intel. That's why we need him around the scene. Yeah, okay, Asim. Let's talk Asim. Because he's another
what's going
player.
on there?
But the issue is with Asim is like Gunless is unrestricted. Clay is unrestricted. And there's not many options. Because, like, don't get me wrong. I think Asim on this team, like, I would take Asim over TJ personally with another slaying sub. But like the issue you've got there is that do you want to play for Asim's buyout? You probably don't. And Asim could be a good sub potentially for that LAG team, so they're not going to let him go for nothing.
Yeah, that's tough because I don't think. Pretty sure him and Clay don't get along. Obviously, Asim's only real chances with Paris Legion. I mean, unless London look at him, maybe like. London are obviously looking at Paul X, so they're not scared to go for North American players. But I would prefer them go for Wardy. But I don't know. That's tough because he has a buyout that I doubt Legion would pay, and then him and Clayster. I don't think they beef, but I'm not sure if he would want to play with Clayster. But then again, if that's your last chance, okay, it's all good, we're fine. I'll play with him.
Well, yeah, but it's like Asim already declined a CDL spot, right? Like he already declined the chance to go to Florida last year when he was benched. Like they wanted him, and then he said no, like for various personal reasons. He wanted to stay on Gorillas, maybe either because he thought he could get a spot back, or because he thought that, like, for financial
Nah,
reasons, it
it
made
was
more
money.
sense.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was
money thing
losing.
makes sense, right?
He was losing quite a lot of money because
Yeah, so it's like,
Florida couldn't pay what Gorillas were paying him, so he was gonna
Mhm.
lose like however many thousand a month for the last 2 months of the season or 3 months.
Yeah, exactly. Which I think is a sensible decision from his part. And like, assuming they just extended his deal as it currently is, he's in they might have dropped him now. He's on the bench, right? But like, whatever it is, he still might be taking a pay cut to go and play for Vegas. So,
Yeah.
but like, so then it's a question of what you want to do. Like, how much confidence does he have that Gorilla's starting roster is going to survive? Because if I'm Asim and I'm sitting there on the bench for that team, I'm looking at the fact that
You're looking good, to be honest.
You're looking good because Arcitys and
Yeah.
Arcitys and Spark are locked in for 3-year deals. They're not changing their AR duo. If the team sucks, it's the SMGs that get traded out. Like who can Neptune? They're the ones on the chopping block. And there's a very reasonable world like 3 months into the season when they bring a scene back in, I think.
Oh, 100%. I think he's in a good spot. Like he's not in the best spot, but he's in like a spot where he can. There's a high chance that he will get subbed in 100%. Because if Neptune doesn't play to his ceiling and Hook is being inconsistent, then why not? Why wouldn't you make a change?
Yeah, agreed. I can still see that happening. So, I think that's probably what will be the case, but we'll see about that one. Let's talk a bit of FaZe drama. Love to see it. Easy Max away, but it's all good. Still plenty of stuff going on. Been a bit of a mess, obviously, this last week, and I'm kind of confused as to see who's. Probably both of them are right to some extent, but I thought the comments are interesting. Like Arcitys was saying, like, I'm not salty. This is just how it is. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Sounds like you're a bit salty, but it's like
Yeah,
I'd be
you're definitely
salty. If I
salty a
got
little
dropped
bit.
my FaZe,
Yeah.
I'd be salty. Like it's just how it is. When you got your couple of years playing with the best of the best, you get dropped. It's tough not to be salty. So it's kind of what it is. But he did say that like something kind of fell off for quite a lot of this season. It was always strange. He also reckoned that the team was kind of telling his brother Pristini and even his mum, they were telling like them what he was
Why are they
doing
talking to his
wrong.
mum? What the
Yeah,
fuck?
I'm pretty sure he said his mother, but it was definitely his brother. But I think he said his mother as well, even though I might have to rewatch the clip, but definitely his family at least. They were
That's
talking
weird.
to about the issues that he was like bringing to the team without telling him. I'm like, mate, are we back in 2013 here? I thought we'd moved on from this in the COD scene,
I
but
mean,
apparently not.
COD pros are age 20, but their mentor was 13. Jesus.
Yeah, it's actually built different, bro. Yeah, can confirm he did. Yeah. So this is what I'm saying, right? So that's what he said, and then they were like, I don't think that's that they told him he was getting dropped. I think that was like they were talking to them about his issues, like what he was doing wrong and stuff. They were telling Pristini and his mum rather than telling him or something. Like they were telling his family before him. Like messy one. And even he himself, like he says, he found out through a friend texting him. So it's like absolute mess, obviously. But then aBezy comes back and says, well, we dropped him because of how he was as a person and as a leader. That was the quote. So
I
as a
thought that
person, I
was
thought it
pretty
was a little bit
mean that he's
strange.
like when I
As a
tweeted, I was
person, it
like,
was unnecessary, bro.
I'm not gonna say as a person, I'm just gonna say as a leader because I was like, that's pretty like I don't know, that's pretty sad.
Yeah, I didn't really want to. I don't think I put that in my like thumbnail or anything because I thought it was just a bit harsh. But like,
Yeah,
I mean,
I
he
think
said it,
it's
so
I
he probably
don't think
meant
he meant
like.
he
I don't
didn't
think he
mean it
meant it
like
quite like
that.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
agree.
yeah.
So
That's why
really,
I
he
didn't
meant
say it
like
in
the
the tweet.
leadership wasn't great. Yeah, I agree. I
Yeah,
think like it was the only time he mentioned the kind of as a person thing in the whole thing, and he talked a lot about the leadership thing. So give him a pass
yeah.
on that. But like he basically says that his leadership wasn't as good as it was in Cold War. That's why they dropped him. Kind of implying that they were looking only for another leader. We'll discuss that in a second. But like aBezy didn't kind of play down any of the other room. Like he didn't address the fact that they'd gone behind his back or done whatever. Like he didn't respond to those claims. So I
Yeah.
imagine there was at least some element of truth in there. But he also
Yeah,
says that he hated that Arcitys was trying to paint them as bad people.
yeah.
And I'm like, well, it's pretty spicy as far as I'm concerned.
I just like that it was finally like debunked that they dropped Arcitys to try and chase Dashy. It was just like bad timing on the timeline. Like a lot of people thought that Optic broke them up because they dropped Dashy, and then they would try to go for Dashy, and then Arcitys got salty and left. But that's not what happened. I think they had been wanting to change for the last, before Dashy got dropped.
Yeah, definitely. But actually, it's kind of funny. Like, I was reading through the comments because there was the clip that came out right where he said that they never wanted Dashy, and people in the comments were like, "Nah, he's bluffing. He's just making it up. They definitely want it," which confused me a little bit because I guess these guys are probably Optic fans that think Dashy's the second coming, and therefore like everyone would have wanted him for any role, but. The reality is that Dashy has his flaws as well, and he doesn't, it's not like he's flawed in that sense, but like Dashy doesn't have all the attributes that they were looking for. So I think it's perfectly reasonable that they were never looking at Dashy. But the other part is that, like, go on. So what are you going to say?
I was going to say, which is weird because they were going after Pred as well, which is like, he's
and the
not
Shotzi thing,
he's
right?
not a leader. Yeah, and Shotzi is like, I guess they were just kind of dipping their toes everywhere. But I think Slasher was like the perfect fit for what was available.
Yeah, it's just a little bit like because I guess, as you say, I guess they were just reaching out and trying to see what was possible. But if it's true that they were going after Pred, because like that we talked about that a little bit, and then also the other part, which was that I mean like they considered Insight as well apparently. At which point like that's more of a leadership thing. So yeah, it's a bit strange because. He kind of was implying that Slasher was like their number one guy. He was the guy they wanted, which might be true.
Of course he's going to say that. Of course he's going to say
that, right?
He's not going to say, "Oh, Slasher was 10th on our list, but we got him."
It's a kind of a shame, but we got him. Basically, the Optic World War II team in the second half, they were like, Methods and Octane, that was the duo that we wanted all along. We definitely didn't want John or Zoomaa or any of these SMGs, but we got Zinni, baby. He is our man. crimsix on a sub. That was our plan. So, yeah, I mean, exactly. The other question I have on this really is like, where would Dashy have gone if this like had actually happened? Like, if Optic actually dropped him and FaZe didn't want him, because like that was kind of the weird few days where everyone was putting all their stuff on hold to try and figure out where he was going to go. But it's like,
I mean, who wants to throw money around like that? Like Gorillas,
exactly, right?
Would. Minnesota Rocker probably would have.
Oh, but people are saying that maybe like a duo with Illy would be interesting. Like, because
maybe Toronto together. If they both go to Toronto, imagine that. Illy and Dash on Toronto. I know they wouldn't work with like
that would be class though.
Yeah,
but they could probably
on their home team.
Yeah, but they would have probably sold Insight if that was the case. Like they would have found a way to make it.
Maybe subliners and Hydra and Dashy. That would have been nice. They're the only teams I could really realistically see.
Yeah, because Minnesota, I don't think they would have gone for that.
Yeah, because it would have been a bit off. It would have been a bit off.
Yeah, agreed. It was a strange one because like I wonder whether the Dashy Illy duo, if that would have been a duo, is more valuable than just Dashy. Because like if I'm bringing in Dashy and Illy, I've got more confidence that I'm gonna like get the best out of Dashy. Do you know what I mean?
They were both restricted, right? Like you had to buy them out.
They would have been both. No, Illy wouldn't have been restricted. He was unrestricted.
Oh, so he was unrestricted. Oh, yeah. I was going to say because I don't know if there's any team that would buy both of them. Like, that's potentially $1 million.
I mean, I reckon. Yeah, I reckon there were some teams that were at least considering it. Probably some big, New York, Minnesota, these type of teams might have been looking at it because, like, I'd have wanted to buy them as a duo if I was to do anything.
Yeah. Seeing them in like subliners or in purple, like that would have been crazy.
Yeah, agreed. Absolutely mind-blowing stuff. Kind of wish we were in the parallel universe where that was the case, but I'm biased.
It would have been spicy, bro. It would have been so spicy. You would be eating. Holy crap, you'd be eating.
Yeah, I'd be eating even better. But like the drama would have continued, because it's all gone quiet from the Optic camp. It's boring, same old shenanigans. Whereas if they hadn't made a move, damn, with like the amount of Dashy thumbnails, I'd have
through the
roof. Yeah, absolutely through the roof. But it's still pretty good, right? As it is. Like the rostermania has still been good in terms of the implications here.
I just need JP to go to Optic, man. I'm a little bit of an Optic fanboy now and then, but I want to see JP there. I think he's the best. Sorry, second best. Austin's number one. But nah, JP's the man, bro.
Don't get it twisted. Yeah, I mean, agreed. I'm thinking, what actually, yeah, let's discuss that. What do Optic do? Because Sender, do you know if he's going to leave? Because some people have said he's going to go to LAG because Arcitys is there and they have the whole Huntsman relations.
Well, I spoke about a coach before. Obviously, people didn't realize what I was talking about.
Clock on. Okay, I see. I see.
No, I did hear this could go to New York, but I'm not the number one intel man anymore.
Okay, I
But
see.
I
Maybe
definitely
that's
think I definitely think he leaves, bro. I doubt he stays. They've pretty much said they want to move on without him, basically without saying it. So he'll go
Is
somewhere.
that them wanting to move on then? Is that like, what do you think it is?
I think so. I doubt Cena would want to leave on his own accord, right? Like,
I mean, that's the
who would want
money
to
thing,
leave?
but like, but if he's going to go and be
I
a
mean,
assistant coach somewhere else, then it's like, you know what
well,
I
I
mean?
mean
Because I was thinking
that
maybe he wants to be the
depends.
head guy somewhere.
It depends if D-Rose. I don't know what's happening with D-Rose. I don't know if he's staying. So who knows? I guess I might fall on that. I'm not sure. I don't know what offers D-Rose has.
Mm.
I don't know, like what offers are these? Leg, Surge near the gym. I don't know
Maybe
if he wants to be a
Surge,
gym.
yeah. I mean, but also like, I don't. I mean, maybe Phoenix is staying now, but also like Marky B, like it's a bit of a mess, you know.
Yeah, true. Well, I think Mikey B would be replaced by Mayhem. Maybe even Josh. Like I saw Josh left like
Yeah,
Toronto NA, but Toronto EU,
EU, I
sorry.
think.
Maybe he just gets upgraded to like the assistant and then Mayhem's the head coach.
Just got B
But
Sport.
yeah, I mean, where's Mikey B going? Where can he go?
It's a good
Gorillas?
question.
Gorillas would be nice for him.
I think Gorillas would be actually maybe the destination. They've got the cash.
Yeah,
Like maybe he thinks that's the play. It's an interesting one. Like obviously having not been a coach or really understanding what it takes to be a coach or having talked to many or get many of their perspectives. Like it's difficult to say what drives a coach necessarily because
yeah,
if you've got a nice cushy gig on a team that's doing well, like Marky B can stay at Toronto if he wants to. Like they're not kicking him out. Like, but he said he wants to explore options effectively. So it's like, is he looking? Because this is what I think an Easy Mac situation. Like Easy Mac gets absolutely zero credit, right, for being the analyst for FaZe because it's FaZe, and then it's the same for the coaching staff on that team. Like Crowder gets some element of credit, but not really. Like you
yeah,
get credit if your team is theoretically, if your team ends up being greater than the sum of its parts. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I feel like if I was a coach, like from just an ego perspective, you'd want to have like you want to have some credit, right? You want to go to a team that theoretically should not be great and make it great. And also you
Yeah, I
want to
mean,
chase
it's
it back because if you move teams, you
yeah,
get
yeah.
more money. That's how it goes.
It's tough for coaches, like you said, man. It's like because none of us know what they do in scrim, so we don't hear. No, they're not on the comms when we hear comms. Like we don't know what they do. So the only real way to see a coach being great is, like you said, a crap team turning into a good team. Which is why I used to rate Atura really highly because he took a lot of. I think he took like two teams in BO4 and turned them into like great teams. And he even turned Florida into a great team in Modern
He was
Warfare.
like UIU or something, was he? Atura back in
Yeah, he was on
Squad.
Elevate as well. Elevate was like Brizzy and like a real like mid team, but they were like thrashing people in scrims.
Yeah, that's right, I think. Man,
And
yeah,
he
it's a weird
and
one. Like
yeah,
I see
carry
a lot
on.
of people talking about it. Which coaches are overrated, which are underrated. Like I see people saying
Yeah,
that
how do you even answer
Rambo's
that?
hella overrated. And I'm like, well, hang on. Like, how are we actually defining this?
I
Because
mean, they're only saying that because Optic was losing. That's it.
well, yeah, I know, but like, okay, the vetoes were bad, so Rambo's terrible coach. So I'm like, well, it's difficult because obviously Rambo, since he started coaching, has been on God's squads. Like he joined Dallas Empire, they won champs. Then obviously Dallas Empire the next year was still damn good, and then last season Optic they win an event. It's like, you know, but you can't tell. Maybe this guy's just trash and the teams are the best. Like maybe his vetoes are actually terrible and the guy's brain dead. But it's clear listening to him that's not the case. So
I mean, if
I don't know.
Scump didn't want him, he'd be gone. Let's be honest here.
That's a good point. They do go way back, so I guess
Yeah.
that's a positive. Any further thoughts on that, or we can move on a little bit?
Nah, I got nothing left on there.
Good stuff. Let's talk about the number one team going into next season because Arcitys commented on this, saying that he reckons that, which I think is kind of understandable, right? The team that just won the World Championship is going to be the team to beat, right? But like, I don't know if it's
I don't agree.
necessarily
I
true.
don't agree.
I don't think this is necessarily true because it's an entirely different game, and you're starting from scratch again. And Arcitys reckons that Thieves are the team to beat next year. They won back to back, makes sense. But at the same time, it's like if you look at the World Championship winners in previous seasons, how many of them have been the favorites going into the next game? Like, I mean, let's say even the Jetpack era, right? Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3, Champs. Optic lose both of them, but they definitely go into the next season still being the scariest team. Like, that's just how it goes. So, like, I don't know. There's been some occasions where the best team wins champs and they go into the next season being the team to beat. But I think maybe even the majority of years, the World Championship winners have not. I mean, I guess the early days it's a bit different because the championship wasn't at the end of the title. So, bit of a confusing one. But I mean, Optic are always good at the start of the game. FaZe are FaZe. Like, I don't know. Like, if I'm a team, I'm still more scared to play FaZe. Like, that's just how it's going to be.
I agree. I think. I mean, Thieves started slow as fuck this year. Like, I think they'll do the same next year.
Yeah, I think there's a
I'm not
great
saying they'll be
chance they
bad,
start
but
slow again.
yeah,
They
they'll just
might
take
get
a little
better
bit
quicker.
time to learn. But I think FaZe is the team to beat 100%. 100%. Optic as well. Optic are good, but I don't think they're better than FaZe on paper.
Yeah, I mean they're
But then again, they
literally
have
the
the
best
full
upgrade.
chemistry. I know it's tough. It's tough. But I would say FaZe, Optic, and then I would say
Surge are the other one
Thieves.
that's stuck, but
Yeah,
they're not like
yeah,
quite there. Yeah, it's like the Thieves team. Interesting to me. Like, how good will Thieves be, chat, at the start of the season? Because this year they took a long time to figure out how to play the game. Like, they were pretty good on land the whole year. Like, the worst they placed on land was top 8. They had a top 6. They had a top 4. They had a top 2, and they had a couple of wins. Like, that's pretty impressive. They generally got better as the season went on. But it's also like how good will they start out next season? Because last year Octane was crap at the start, Kenny was awful, only
yeah.
Envoy was any good. Their search was trash. Like, have they just solved search now and they're going to be godlike in that mode, or is it a matter of you've got to get used to the new title? Because that's the thing. The new game comes out and it takes quite a long time to learn it, understand it, get used to the new game again. Kenny, of course, was dominant on the sub at the end of last year. Can he retain that form? You
I
know,
mean, they got
that might not
Shane
be
off
a
the rip now
guarantee.
too. They got Shane off the
They got
rip,
Shane
and they
off the
got
rip.
Novus. They got Novus too. I know he's GM,
That's
but
true.
I would assume he probably does some analytical things too because he loves numbers and those types of things.
Yeah, he'll be banging the numbers in. So, yeah, I kind of agree that like LA Thieves will still be a contender next year,
Yeah,
and
100%.
they will be a contender quicker than they were this year. But I don't think they go into the kickoff being like the number one team. Like when we start getting these online tourneys, I think Thieves won one actually last year. One of the early kickoffs, I think Thieves won it. But FaZe also won one. Optic also won one. Like New York also got close or won one. Like it's gonna be FaZe, Optic, maybe Thieves. Like these are the teams that are gonna dominate the early few weeks of online, and they're gonna go into the kickoff probably with FaZe being this. You know, it's just how it is. It's maybe it's a different story this time. Who knows? But
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there we go. Rocker will be finalist for the first 3 events. Like maybe I should have mentioned Rocker there. Rocker, like
Yeah, no, Rocket dude.
I would love to really hope they'd be good, but like you've got to give a benefit of the doubt to the teams that you've seen play and perform, you know?
Yeah, who do you think is gonna be better at the start, Rocket or Surge? Someone do a Twitch poll.
Oh,
I feel like
okay.
it's a because I like both those teams a lot, obviously, but I'm a big fan of the Rocket team.
Yeah, I like
Which
that.
team
I'm
will be
trying to
better at
think
the
like
start, Rocket or Surge?
who starts out the best out of those set of players? Like, because there's always been some players that will like start out the season hella good. Like
Yeah,
traditionally, that they'll be because accuracy actually has been one of those players. I'm gonna say Surge just for the reason that like accuracy historically has done well. Maybe I'm just making this up, but I feel like he does quite well at the start of games. I don't know, TK, I'm just remembering like they won Nola, they
yeah.
won whatever at the start. Like I
I
think he
mean,
kind of gets the game quite quickly.
Pred and Sib are coming off like fantastic rookie years, but how many times have we seen a really good rookie year or someone have a really good season and the next season not necessarily a rookie, like even Cammy and CoD World to now, Inside to CoD World to now. How many times have we seen a player be really good and then next year they're kind of just like, yeah, you know, didn't live up to it. And for Pred to live up to what he did last year is going to be tough for him, man. Like, it's going to be real. People are going to be pretty harsh on him.
It's a good point, actually. I mean, I think he's the type of guy that can handle the pressure, but
yeah, I mean, he was good for the past two seasons, but I know he was in challenges, but like he dominated. He was easily the best player in the region.
Yeah, I think I want to go Surge, but it's kind of close in the well, it's not that close in the Twitch poll, but if I vote, then it will basically lock it in. But yeah, it's a weird one because I think that I have a really tough time telling you over the course of the season which team's going to be better, Surge or Rocker. Like, I think they're really nicely evenly matched, and equally, I don't really know who's going to start out the best. But that's an exciting battle. Like, if that's a game 5, man, that's just game 5 written all over it right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. I hope we get there because I like both those teams a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Surge made they made the finals of the Kickoff Classic last year. Someone probably already pointed that out in the chat, but like they started out well last year, then they fell off hard, and then they clawed their way back to being a good team. So that was also very respectable. So, but that was in like what, late January.
Surge on the YouTube poll. They smoked him.
Yeah, they
you guys love Surge
there. Yeah, people love Surge, which I think that makes sense. I think you've got to give them the benefit of the doubt because they've stuck together for a reason after last season. They won an event, top 3 at champs.
Super inconsistent though. Super inconsistent. Real inconsistent.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like, I do think Mac is underrated, but I still think there's potentially. It's a weird one, right? Like, if this team needs a change, what exactly do you do? Like, who's the first to go from Surge next year? Like, does Accuracy get coach? Like, does he drop out and you bring in an AR, or is it Mac that has to get traded?
Yeah, but what ARs are out there that you can get their leadership from that those young dudes need?
Nothing.
Like, really. I don't know. crimsix, like, obviously not going to go for him. Like, who's out there? Assault, maybe?
Well, yeah, but you're not getting the leadership. Like, unless Accuracy becomes the coach, right, and they force him to retire mid-year. But like, that would legitimately, like, they would have to be doing horribly for them to like be like, look, Accuracy, it's time for you to coach this team. That's how it's gonna be.
I would have loved for Arcitys, man. Arcitys would have been. I think he's from Seattle too. I think a lot of fans wanted their Arcitys in Seattle.
He was meant to be joining that team back in Modern Warfare, right? There was the whole
that was like one of the first times I missed, and then I think the original Seattle roster was like Arcitys. Yeah, I put it out there, but then it changed like overnight or something. I have the worst memory, but I think it was Arcitys, Envoy, Enable. Who else was it? It was like 2 of the ones that ended up making. Maybe Karma.
I'm thinking like, was it Karma Apathy? Like,
yeah, something like that.
Was Octane even there at that point, or not in the consideration? Octane was going to go to. Because
I think Octane was there.
Maybe Octane was there, yeah. Because Octane was going to go to Dallas, but then they chose someone instead of him, or he didn't want to play with Illy or something like that. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, that was like the original Seattle roster, and then I think Hecz basically confirmed that he was getting a spot. So that's when he took Arcitys, Envoy, and then
yeah, I think you're right. It was like Slat, Karma, like one combination of the guys that ended up there, but it was like Arcitys and Envoy that were going to be there.
Yeah,
and they ended up elsewhere. And then like Octane said that he got kind of an offer from Dallas, but he didn't want to play with Shotzi and Illy, so he said no. So pretty sad. Chalked up 2 years of his career, but at least he got the ring.
It worked out. Yeah, it worked out. And then he got the ring. We haven't even seen the rings yet either. Like I thought we would have seen it. Have we seen a photo? We haven't seen a photo, right?
So where are the? Maybe we saw a photo. Yeah.
Remember Modern Warfare? They got like a pair of Jordans, a throne.
Yeah, the throne was actually cool.
Yeah, that was cool as fuck.
They flew out in a helicopter. They landed by the throne. They got Crim to sit in the throne. Like, man,
this year they just get a ring that we haven't even seen. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, this is bloody on land this year. Like, this is the real deal.
What happened?
Not no Mickey Mouse ring. I got a digital charm ring. Wow, I'm sure they're really happy with that. Wow. It's like I mean, you see it in Valorant, they have the things where they if you win champions or one of the events, they give you a banner like above your as you load into the game, you get like a banner above your name that says like
Yeah, pretty
Masters
cool.
winner or something, which is pretty cool. At least everyone can see that when you load in, I think.
They should have they should have like a little championship trophy on their guns for next year on all of Thieves' guns.
Man, you're making too much sense, Crane. This is your
Yeah, or
problem
even
here.
like even for like major wins, like have like a little M1 if you won major one, little sticker or emblem or something on your gun. Like that'd be cool.
This makes too much sense. This is the issue.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah, agreed. That'd be oh man. I just love all those like the camos that Lion Man used to make for Black Ops 4. Do you remember like the Maddox camo that
That
he'd
was
make?
so good. Yeah, that was
And
so
like
good.
they have the player name on it. Like
Yeah, yeah. And then we get these shitty ass ones. And
nah, next year
oh
I
well,
believe
last year's good. No, last year's were mid too, right?
they were marginally better than Cold War. Like Cold War got roasted hard and then I'm
Because they
pretty
look like
sure like it
they
was a
look
bit
like
better last year.
headshot camos, bro. Like you get 50 headshots, and this is the camo you get. Oh, it's Los Angeles Thieves. Cool.
Yeah,
That's
that
so
was
bad,
pain.
bro.
Yeah,
So bad.
agreed. And people still playing Vanguard. I mean, Doug Sense of Iron is, that's for sure.
No comment.
Yeah, no comment, no comment. I think we'll leave. No, we've got to Scump the Scump stuff because it's in the title. There was a thing that Scump had to say on an interview recently. It's kind of interesting. Of course, this can all change, right? The whole Scump retirement date. We've talked about it for years. He's going to retire in 3 years. Oh no, he's only got 2 more years left. Oh, he's still got 2 years left. And then 2 years later, it's like, oh well, Scump can keep going. But there was a kind of interesting comment when Hecz said to Scump, like, I'm happy that you decided to stay for 1 more year. And then he went on to then say, I hope like you kind of change your mind and keep going. So kind of implying that Scump has said like I'm doing one more and that's probably me done. But
Yeah.
of course all can change, I think. Like depending on the way the season goes, like Scump did say that his hands are beginning to feel the effects, which is understandable. But yeah, I just think that I want to see Scump move into a flex role at least for one season before he retires because I think he can do well there, and I think it would be less taxing to a certain extent on your hands and your movement
Yeah.
and stuff. I think we see this with a lot of players like SMGs that like eventually move into more flex positions. Like I feel like that's where he should end up. Like I don't want him to retire as a sub. I want him to give it a go as a flex for a bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I saw that clip. I didn't want to read too much into it. That's why I didn't post about it. Because I was like, I mean, I'm just assuming that from probably Cold War onwards, he's just taking it 1 year at a time. Like, okay, get to the end of the year, all right, I'm gonna do another year. Get to the end of the year, okay, I'll do another year. So I try not to look into that clip too much. That's why I didn't post it. Would have been great for impressions though, but
Ah.
I didn't post
Uh,
it. But no, I hope I would like to see him run a flex too. I agree. But I think I said last time that it'd be so weird for me to see him run a flex, even though this year he used the AI on Gabutu, right? I
yeah,
know it's hard to discuss a flex role because it's like, well, I don't know what they're gonna be, what the flex is gonna be next year. Like, is it gonna be more of a 3 sub meta or a 3 AR meta, or is it gonna be 50-50? Like, we don't really know. It's really hard to tell. But I mean, if it was like a 3 sub meta, like mostly 3 sub, then I think he'd be great in their sub role, in their flex role. Sorry,
yeah, it'd be good to
slow down the
see.
pace a little bit. Yeah,
It all can change. That's the thing. Yeah, we never really know. But
yeah,
he's not even that old. Like he's 27. Slash is like 28, I think, going on 29. Like Slash is like kind of sneaky, super
sneaky old.
OG. Yeah,
Yeah.
sneaky, sneaky old, but like it's not really old, like. But
How
it
old's
feels funny
Clay?
to
He's
say it.
29. I didn't even
Clay's 30
realize.
now. Clay's 30 now.
Is he 30?
Yeah,
Jesus.
he hit the
I
big
can't talk.
3-0.
I can't talk at all. But
Yeah, you're
Jesus.
sitting there like, gee, oh my god.
Shit,
Yeah, but I
I'm
mean, you're
30. I'm
right.
32 next month. Holy crap.
Yeah, 1992, Clayster was brought in. He spawned
That's
up.
crazy.
So yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I want to see him like give it a real good go because he was damn good at the start of Cold War. Like he
Yeah,
really
he
was.
was. I think he had the kill record for Cold War as well. It was a
43 or something in control. I don't know.
yeah,
Wasn't sure.
control. Yeah,
Garrison
control of.
maybe.
No, it wasn't Garrison. It was. I forgot what it was on, but no, I remember I made a few graphics about it. But yeah, he was real good. He was real. Yeah, I think if you put him in the right situation, which Paris is not the right situation, but he's got no other choice. But if you put him in the right situation, I think he'd be great. I think he can, he can do what Accuracy does. Just give us like a 0.9 to 1.0. Just give us comms and leadership and show us what way to run, and we're good.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, yeah, I believe in the Vegas team. Top 11, maybe better. Hopefully they can put on a good show. But yeah, I'd like to see a good year from, because it might be Clay's last year, it might be whoever's last year. We'll see. But people are stepping away. At least we do have some. I think probably if you'd have said a year ago to me that, wow, Formal's retiring, Scump's going to retire, Crim, Clay, these guys are on their way out, I'd have been like, damn, like, where's the interest? Where's the personalities? Where are the storylines? But I look at the league now and I'm like, I see some good kids on the rise. We've got Scrappy, we've got Pred, we've got Draza, like these guys that have kind of made their name over the last year or so. That like, it's not like they can carry the weight as those other guys did, but at least they've got some personality. You know what I mean?
I mean, we still have Dashy. Like people still love Dashy.
Yeah,
people love Envoy.
It's like, Envoy, I think people are still gonna watch for Optic, man. Like, I actually refuse to buy this idea that Scump retires and the viewership drops in half. Like, people are still gonna be watching the Optic boys because Scump's still gonna be on the Optic podcast talking to the Optic boys about how the matches went. Like, okay, they might be watching the Scump, but like, I don't know.
If it's on Twitch, then he could do watch parties. I could see him watching, especially the tournaments. Maybe not the league matches, but Scump will still be around. People think he's just going to disappear into the wind.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's the same thing with, like, Formal plays an entirely different game, but often he's on stream commenting on the matches or on the podcast talking about how things are going. Like, he's still very relevant in the COD landscape. Like, he still gets in probably as many videos as he used to on my channel. Because, like, he still talks about stuff in the COD scene. Like, it's not like his influence has disappeared. So, I guess we'll see when the time comes. Hopefully, no time soon, but that is life. Okay, before we do guess the map, we're going to do some guess the map action on stream. This is going to be good. I just wanted to, like, quick thoughts on the World Cup thing, Crone, because you put together this beautiful World Cup type.
I love doing these
teams. Yeah, you did this one last year. I think this year was actually a banger. Like, I mean, the graphic was mega that Rose put together as well. So that was top tier. But yeah, 8 teams. I mean, like, how would this be done? This would be like middle of the off season type thing.
I mean, you could do it in the middle. I would take away the All-Star game. But I mean, first of all, I had like every year I do this, I know it's gonna be like controversial, and people are gonna be like, "Yo, the USA team's wrong. Like, what the fuck is this? Why is Kenny starting? With Scump? Yeah, like Team Mexico. None of them speak Mexican. None of them were born in Mexico. So it is tough, but I still love it. It's still fun as fuck. Obviously, Scump being here Scump's my favorite player of all time. People need to understand this, but I based it off how I thought how good they were throughout the season. And for the Team USA, I thought it'd be disrespectful if I didn't have a Thieves player starting because they won, and they won Major 4. So it's either Kenny or Envoy. I don't know which one you guys would have rather. Kenny won 2 MVPs. He was also MVP nominated for the season. So I went with him. And a lot of people thought that was wrong. A lot of people wanted aBezy there, but then it's like, well, then you have 3 FaZe players starting. They didn't even win a tournament. People are going to argue that. So there was so many things that I was like, there's no real proper way for me to pick the right one, right? Like, you guys either want Kenny starting, Scump, Envoy, or aBezy, but I went with this. This is what I went with. And for Team Mexico, people were like, yo, these players are Mexican. They don't live there. But I did my research on sports, and all the sports, well, most of the sports World Cups, if your parent or your grandparent is born in that country, then you're allowed to play for them. Mm-hmm. So all these players are Mexican. I asked them if I didn't know, or I searched up clips or whatever. But no, I think I did a good job. Aside from having no Scump, maybe I should have had 3 substitutes on Team USA and just put Scump just to put everyone's mind at ease.
That's actually a 200 IQ strategy for you there.
But I try my best not to be super biased with Optic stuff. Like, obviously, if I put Scump in there, like, people are going to love it way more. But I try to do my best. I still think I did good, though. But these are some nasty teams, bro.
I actually really like these teams.
Yeah,
I mean, the Canada one's a little bit weird because, like, at least got to run a sub, but I think they can make it work.
I didn't want to put Ellie on the bench for Jimbo. I felt like that was disrespectful.
Mexico actually I actually really kind of like that. Like Attach would kind of have to run the sub, but I think he still can run a sub. Especially if Shotzi's your other SMG duo, like he's gonna make your life pretty easy as the second sub.
Yeah. And to be fair, Looney does speak Mexican. I mean Spanish, sorry. Whatever the language is on that.
Yeah, Spanish, yeah. Yeah, shout out Looney. Let's go. I like that. Okay. Yeah, is that the Mexico team is the England team is nice as well. I actually really like that.
Yeah, that is nice. That is nice.
Like his Trey can run whatever, so
yeah, I really wanted to put Beans on the bench, but just because I'm a big fan of Beans.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I like the teams a lot. So I think Australia could be the underdog here.
Agreed. Yeah, we just need
just high carrying.
Yeah, I need to bring back some other countries because like it's not been. I remember when you did the thing where you looked up the Swedish players just all retired, and I was thinking back to like the Black Ops 3 Pro League when you had the French teams with like Xerox and Mauls and Whalers and these guys, and then you had the German team of like Gunner Elite or whatever his name was and the other lads on there. It's like, okay, these weren't exactly spectacular players, but like we actually had a league that had teams in these regions, right? And you could have done a World Cup with more teams than even today. So kind of.
I mean, last year I did. So last year I had 2 USA teams. I split it on like East and West, which I think you could still do here. But because of that, you would need like another team, like a 10th team. And I think last year, because of that, I did like a team from Japan, which probably would have got squashed. Like they would have got.
Oh, what's the guy's name? City of New York or something?
Yeah, City of New York. I think I had him on the bench. What a name, though. What a name.
That is just top quality, yeah.
So I don't know what other countries you could do. I know Belgium has like 2 good challenger players.
In South Africa have kind of like had some teams.
Yeah, I don't know in Latin America obviously, but they didn't have any like CDL. They didn't have any CDL players. That's why I didn't include them.
I know.
Like people got to realize that I had to make content, so I was like, I don't want to put like random challenger players on a team. I had to at least have players that people know. So it's tough. I don't know who the team would be if we had one. It would probably be a Latin American team, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Maybe Italy. Italy have players. I don't know.
Maybe. Honestly, like I know the European team used to be kind of fine. Oh no, Methods is Spanish. Methods Sick is Spanish. I don't know if the Italian scene's ever really been kicking off. Yeah, there's been some Irish players. Depends there, like, because if you,
you could
do like an like obviously Jerd, but he's not playing anymore. Like Dylan Codd's from Northern Ireland, but I mean, you could do like an all Ireland team maybe, even though
Someone said zoomaa Methods for Italy. That's what I mean when I say Methods.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay, that's actually a good point. I didn't really think about that.
But we have to go down the rabbit hole of who's. We have to go down the rabbit hole of who's Italian and where the parents are born and that type of shit.
And also, like any more than 8 teams, like how are you doing it? Like in terms of actually making a bracket or whatever. Like 8's a good number, and when you get to like 10 or 11, it's like, well,
even like how would they pick who qualifies? Like because everything's online, so it's like, and what Australia versus New Zealand would be one spot. But then that's kind of just makes it weird for everything else.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, I guess if they were to do it, they just want it to kind of be a fun thing without too much thought. So
maybe they'll do it based on pro points, like which country has the most pro points. But I don't know, it'd be tough for them to choose. Maybe they just choose like players that can represent a team from the CDL, so Australia would get one by default. Those types of things. I don't know. It'd be tough for them to pick, and hopefully, bro, I would love to see a World Cup, man. Like, this is why I hate that the Overwatch League came before the CDL, because if CDL came first, we would have 18, 20 teams. We would have seen a World Cup in the first 2 years. Like, I wish we came first. I wish CDL came first.
I know what you're saying, though, actually. But maybe that would have been, well, I mean, it's not like the Overwatch League is in a great state, but maybe that's because of the game.
Yeah, probably. But I think they got a World Cup the first 2 years of the Overwatch League. But I suppose it's different for there because they have a big presence in Asia, all those types of countries and shit.
Yeah, they actually have like Well, it's not like the majority of their league Korean players because they're just cracked. Something like that.
Yeah.
So
pretty much.
Hopefully they figure it out. Okay, that's it for the regular stuff content. What we're gonna do is guess the map, and I'm gonna need to change my brightness settings a little bit for this to make sure that I'm getting maximally cracked. So I almost prepared as a fun game to play to close out the video here. So we're gonna, I guess the map from COD history. Damn, what is this? Do you know this, Crone? Wow.
Nah.
This is interesting. I'm thinking, is this
I
like
should
a
know
Modern Warfare map or something in 2019?
Yeah, it looks.
Because I'm looking at the thing in the background, the brick, like.
I don't know what that is.
Well, first someone said was Rush, which is a Black Ops 2 DLC map, but I don't think this is Rush. The colors aren't right. Like what you see on the right hand side, there's like it's dark or something. Like this makes me think it's like, you know that but I don't know the name of the map. This is this is right anyway. But you know there was like that 2v2 map in Modern Warfare 2019 where it was like there was like the subway or something.
I don't know, bro. I'll be honest with you, I'm the worst person to do this with because I'm so bad at maps.
It was like I mean, is this just any map, Omar, or is this like specifically? It could be any map. Okay. Okay. I mean, there's no way this is the map that I'm thinking of. But it was a map like that was based in like a subway. This looks like the type of thing you get in a subway. You know what I mean?
Someone said the paintball map. I don't know though. I'm not seeing any paintball splatters.
You reckon this is Cold War? Yeah, this could be Cold War. The map boxing king overpass. I'm gonna try and find the name of this map. I can't cheat, can I? But I'm not gonna know anyway. I don't know.
The map the skate park? What's the skate park map?
But surely this is a recent game. It's not like gonna be grind from Black Ops 2. I'm not. Oh, Miami.
Miami.
Wait, that's a great point because you've got the Where would it be on Miami though? I'm just thinking the things on the right hand side, they're like the square things. Like you got those at the top of the walls near the A-bomb site, looking into the sea. So this would have to be on the building where you could snipe
he's right.
from.
I think he's right because this is the Miami colorway, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I'm just saying that because I follow the NBA.
Oh shit, wow.
Miami, if you search up Miami colorway, it comes up. It's like South Beach, I think. I think this is South Beach colorway. I could be wrong. It's like pink and turquoise.
I mean, because the only place I remember seeing these kind of like grating things were on the top of those walls on Miami. But I wouldn't have thought about it unless they mentioned it. So I feel like we got to go for it, right?
We have to. It must be in the randomest part, bro, because I've never seen this before.
Yeah, I think it might be on the beach of one of the building. Yeah, it's on like the beach side of the building. But
wait, no, yeah, I think it's coming back to me. It's coming back.
I don't know if I ever looked at that wall to see the graphic there.
Lock in Miami. So whoever said Miami's a genius, you're right.
Nova says there's a caller on Miami called Graffiti, which I guess is this one.
I did not know that.
Hopefully it's this one. Otherwise we're wrong. But that was a great shout. Like I kind of knew this is a more recent game. Hopefully. All right. Is it right? Does it come up? Wow, come on. It is Miami. It is Miami. We get the confirmation.
Whoever said that in the chat is the real.
That's actually a great shout from the street. Like I played quite a lot of this map. I would not have been able to tell you that graphic was there. That graffiti.
No, neither.
Good stuff. Honestly, good stuff. Well, I would have been seeing it for a while. Okay, good stuff. We get another one. Oh, okay. Well, we've got extra stuff to look at on the stream. I feel like I should know this. But am I tripping?
Wait.
You know this, Crone?
Nah, I was gonna say mall because I saw the sale thing. Their mall map on was it Cold War?
Oh.
No, I don't know if there's a wine cellar in there.
Wow,
what was that map called? It's like a DLC.
Thoughts here in the chat. Wait, what do you mean? Oh, I know what you're saying. I think. What was that?
It was like Back to the Future theme.
Garbage map, bro.
It was like Back to the Future theme.
I know what you're saying. I don't know the name of it. It was like some like arcade mall type thing. Yeah, it looks like the wine shop.
What map?
Moscow Pine Mill maybe is what it was called. I thought like when I first saw this, I thought it was like maybe Modern Warfare, but because look, it's got a door, right? We've got to look at the clues here. This is obviously a room you can get in, and there's a door.
I don't know if
So,
that's is that a breakable door
but is
though?
that
I
a
don't
breakable
know.
door? I don't know if it's a breakable
Look like
door. It's
it.
a good
Doesn't
point.
look like it.
It's a good point. To be fair, it's not. It's actually not a Modern Warfare door, is it?
No, it's not.
Because they look different. So yeah, okay.
Someone's saying Piccadilly. Piccadilly.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out because
Where the hell is a wine cellar in Piccadilly?
Well, there was the back passage right on Piccadilly where you could come from spawn and go through the back way, but I don't think that looked like this. But I don't actually know. Piccadilly is one of our own back shops. He reckons it sure is Piccadilly. He actually reckons he's sure it's Piccadilly.
Yeah, Daniel's pretty sure.
He's pretty sure. So okay, let me think where it exactly is. So on Piccadilly, oh, are we talking like how far back are we talking in this map here? Because Piccadilly was actually hella big. Okay,
well,
so
is it on the Foot Locker side or the?
Well, yeah. Let's say you spawn in on defense. If you go left, you go into the Dashy sniper room. It wasn't in there. That was like a library, right? If you go right, you get into the shop room. It wasn't in there.
Yeah.
So the other side of the map, there was the kind of like
arcade. Was that an arcade?
Arcade room. But then on the left side, there was that building with all the broken glass, and then there was the passage around the back.
The scaffolding.
Where this may have been, yeah, or it was like always in the shop by the ambulance, Hotel Royale Vanguard.
People are saying it's not Delhi.
People saying it's not. Okay. I don't know, bro.
It's the little side room.
I mean, look, Charlie is correct in the chat. Omar is a Modern Warfare fiend. I thought map 1 was a Modern Warfare map because I know that Omar is built different on the Joe CoD maps. I'm zooming in on this. I'm getting a maximum. Employee only.
It's
I don't know. I'm not
boy.
seeing any more. I'm not seeing any more details here from the boys.
Is there any clues? Okay, what does that sign say above there? What does that sign say above there?
Shouting at my screen, it's by the ambulance. I'm guessing he's saying it's the ambulance shop on Piccadilly, right? Is that what he's saying? He's never been so confident, he says. Okay, they're all saying this.
We gotta go for it. We gotta go.
We gotta go for it.
We're going to view Daniel.
Where? Yeah, we're going with it. The boys are actually down with it, so I'm committed to it.
Yeah, who the fuck put the?
Is it Piccadilly? That's a good point. What are we thinking, Omar? Wow,
Daniel.
Man, that's crazy. Good job, boys.
I would have never got that, bro.
You guys have played too much Piccadilly, no? Surely this is a bad sign for your mental health. I respect that. That's good stuff. That's good stuff in the boys. Okay. Well, my first thought here was like Black Ops 3. My first thought was like Breach, in that P5 building where you have on the left-hand side, and then you've got the door to the right. But I'm thinking, did it actually look like that on the left?
I'm not sure if it looked like that, but it did have computers and shit in it. And this has got to be
Black Ops 3 computers,
it's got to be Black Ops 3 or iDub, surely.
Yeah, I mean, my first thought was Breach, but I might be wrong. Like, what actually did it look like on the left there? Because this stuff you can't jump on, like, it's just all flat.
And I feel like if you look to the right, that's
where
P1,
the door
right?
is. Yeah, you look to the right, that's P1. So it goes P1, P2, or P1, P2, P3, P4, P5. This is P5, if I'm correct. Which I think, okay, could it be anything else? Okay, I don't know if there's any other. Yeah, definitely Combine Alley room.
Combine Alley room. Wait, which oh no, I know the one he means. I don't think that's that one.
Is the lighting right?
No, I played the Combine a lot. Right. Redwood maybe.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, that's right. By B-bomb. Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, I think he's saying by B-bomb, or maybe A-bomb doesn't make sense.
I don't know if they had computers. No, I don't think they had computers.
Yeah, I don't think they did. And also the room isn't shaped like that. And the lighting I don't think is quite right. Like this is clearly like quite indoors. Daylight. But there's something on the right. Because the lighting is done all like electronically. I'm kind of confident in Breach because I feel like you can never really go into these corners, like these corners never really existed. Like you can't camp in these corners. Like you had to always Chal.
Yeah.
I'm
pretty
B-bomb. Yeah, I don't think
good
it's
at
with
bridge, to be
B-bomb,
honest.
but
I think that's a good shot.
splash off. I mean, look, if this is splash, like fair play, but I give you credit where it's due if it's splash. I don't think I was trying to think through some briefly Infinite Warfare maps, but because there were some that could tick the boxes here, but it just gives me Black Ops 3 vibes.
Where's their logo from on the top right screen? Is it from anywhere? Is it from one of the?
Good question, actually.
One of the guys with it.
It looks such like campaign though. Like look at these screens, like what they've got on them. Like surely that's Black Ops 3 campaign like vibes. You know what I mean? Like with all the different like that's Treyarch stuff in a nutshell. No,
I'm gonna say breach. I agree with breach.
Let's go breach. Let's go breach, Omar. Ah, come on, baby. It's P5, yeah? It's P5?
What a map.
I got a good one. I got a good one. What a map.
I think that's my favorite map. Favorite map on BO3.
That's top.
On pubs.
It's top 3 for me. Oh, this is Precinct. Lock it in, baby. Precinct Infinite Warfare. Sorry, I should have given time for people to get it, but I wanted to look good.
It hasn't even popped up on my screen yet. Jesus Christ. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, this is yeah, you can get another one over. You can get another one.
Oh no, I did play that one.
You know this one? There was some great moments on this map. This is a uplink only map. Wow. I played a lot of that in pubs, to be perfectly honest. But yeah. So that was the Cherry Blossom Tree. Man, that was, I mean, how many, obviously it was the map that Champs was won on. It's kind of an obscure part of the map, but it was still quite often used like near one of the uplink routes.
What a map.
Yeah, exactly. The formal catch, like the gunless, ridiculous 3-piece, the Scump, like the John 3-piece building up to their comeback, right? The United versus Envy comeback was on that map.
I love posting that one. I post that at least once a year.
Yeah, genuinely. That's the best one. That's one of my favorite clips in CoD history for sure. Yeah, that map honestly was so good for pubs as well. Precinct was such a well-designed map. Like, that was Infinity Ward, man. They actually went cracked for that game. Okay. If I know it, I promise I won't say it, but I don't think I will.
Bro, you're not giving us much, I'll be honest with you.
I had an initial thought, but I might be wrong. My first thought was one of these, like an old school like COD 4 map. We're talking like I don't know what it was called.
Like Crash or something. I don't know if there's palm trees.
Yeah, it wasn't called like Afghan, but it was like the map with the ridge in the middle with the tanks on it. But I don't even know where you would see this from, and I don't know if it had those stupid trees. And also, it looks like there's almost like a castle going on over there. Yeah, Novus, my first thought was like a COD 4, like one of these old school games. I forget what the name of the map was though, but like, I don't think it was Afghan. But I don't know what it was called. Some of you guys might know. Yeah, backlot ambush. Oh, I am bloody right as well, am I not? Oh, maybe I'm not right. I see a bit more of it here. I mean, I feel like I'm right. But maybe I'm not right. But it is, man, it is one of these maps. This is such a weird spot on the map. If it's the map I'm thinking of, it's such a weird spot on the map, though. It doesn't really make any sense. Oh, yeah, people are right. Maybe Favela. Is this Favela from Modern Warfare 2? Euphrates Bridge? Crash? Backlot? It's not backlot, like we'd be able to see more. Oh, okay, we get a bit more here. Okay, well, there's a tank on the right. Oh, it goes down a hill. I mean, this kind of looks like Favela with the hill. I actually didn't really play this map, though. But I watched a lot of it.
I've never played this map. I don't even know if I watched it. I probably have watched it. I just don't know.
I mean, the color of the house, like the blue house, starts with an A, says Novus. Thanks for that. I'm kind of... Oh, Ambush. That was what it was called. Ambush. That was the map that I was trying to say with Afghan. Yeah, it was called Ambush. That was my first thought when I saw the first thing we saw, but I actually don't know if it's that. But that also was hilly. But damn, we get to see more and more, and I still like... don't know. I don't think this is favela now though, with all the sand, right? It don't look like favela to me anymore. But it's weird. The very first thing I saw, I thought it was this ambush map that I called Afghan. And now I'm seeing the whole map and I just don't see it really. But these tanks, bro. Surely this is like some COD 4 thing. Look at these tanks. Look
It
at
looks
these
like the color and the map there looks like it has to be an old school map. 100%.
Okay. Yeah, it really does. Are you zooming out again? Oh, we got another tank.
A lot of tanks.
Is this like another? Is this like a Modern Warfare 2 map? Because I don't know if like. Let me think. Is Modern Warfare 1 first one? 2019.
I was gonna ask, is he getting the screenshots off Google, or is he going and getting them himself? Because if he's getting them himself, it's probably not even
Oh, that's actually a good point. That's a good point. Okay, so this is. Oh, maybe this is his favorite. Because I know Omar does love a bit of Euphrates Bridge. And I don't think I've ever played Euphrates Bridge.
I don't know what this map is, bro.
I actually
I've never
don't
seen
know
this.
what it looks like. I mean, I got Modern Warfare. I mean, yeah, okay, so now I see. I think what was happening is because we were so zoomed in, it looked like super low res, like it was an old school game. But now we zoom out a bit more, there's actually some pixels. So,
a few more pixels there.
Yeah, I can buy that this is a newer game now. Yeah, maybe it is Euphrates Bridge. I mean, if Omar has anything to expect,
I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that, man. I played that, man.
You know Euphrates Bridge? Okay.
I've officially
aborted mission on this map now.
I don't know what this is, bro.
Yeah, what do people in the chat say? Euphrates Bridge, back of the map. He reckons Euphrates Bridge back of the map. Like, Euphrates Bridge has got to be the biggest map ever. Like, there must be.
I mean, Omar is a troll, so you might have to lock that one in.
I mean, I think we go for it. Chat seems to haven't got any.
We got nothing else. We got nothing else.
We got nothing else. I can't wait for this last clue. Oh wow!
Oh,
what a map, baby! What a map! What a map!
Omar
one of the best ever. Bring up a picture of Ambush real quick, just to see like what I meant. I don't know. Like Ambush, like I feel like I actually had some pretty good guesses with Ambush, to be honest. Now look at this website. Ambush COD 4. Yeah, look at this.
I mean, it's the same color.
It's the same color, you know? Yeah, look at that one. That is pretty damn close.
Same pixels at the start.
Yeah, we had the same pixels. So, yeah, good job from the boys in the chat. We got there in the end. Good work, fellas. But yeah, that was good. That was good fun. That was good fun. You know, for the blue house, you guys actually built different. Like the fact you got that Piccadilly one is actually kind of mind blowing because I did not even register that being on Piccadilly. But give me Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare. Easy. Yeah, we'll do more, Daniel. Don't worry. We'll have to run it back. But yeah, that's going to do it for today. Thanks all for joining, boys. Glad you enjoyed. If you did. If you didn't, then that's fine. You can even drop the dislike. It actually helps the algorithm. Dislike, good. Like, good. Jesus. Yeah, just interactions are good. Interactions are good. So people don't know. They think they're disliking, screw this guy. He's, no one's ever going to watch this video. It's not how it works, unfortunately. But yeah, so yeah, thanks all for joining. Crone, any final thoughts? I know you said that maybe you don't know if you'll be back next week. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I feel like I broke a record at this point, but honestly, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing yet, boys. I could be here next week. I could not be. Who knows? We had a good final show if that's the case, but I'm sure you'll be back at some point. Yeah. I'll pull some sick days on Wednesdays. yeah. That'll be the play. Thanks all for watching, boys. Have a great evening. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time.